Can't believe it is already December. We're all doing life, but who knew life could be this funny? It's Doing Life with Maria and Chad, our podcast.
It's funny you mentioned that it's December, Maria, because I want to talk today on the podcast about something that my wife and I just did, actually this past weekend. We have not done it since February, and I had a pretty good experience. I can't wait to tell you about it. That's coming up, as well as tons of other things on today's podcast.
Is this going to be kid-friendly?
I promise it is, but don't miss it. It's coming up.
First of all, Chad, happy December.
Happy December to you. I hadn't thought. Yeah. How many days till Christmas? Are we on that countdown yet?
Not yet. I'm not ready yet.
Before you go any further, you just reminded me. Did you do any Black Friday or Cyber Monday shopping?
Yes and no. On Thanksgiving, I was a little tipsy, and I went on Amazon and I ordered the Amazon Show, which is like the little video screen.
Yeah.
And then I canceled it. I ordered it, and it was only like $44.
Yeah.
And then I canceled it, and then it was like, well, we'll see if we can cancel it. It's getting ready to ship, whatever. And then they canceled it. So the short answer is no. Although I did come home after Thanksgiving, and we took a nice Thanksgiving Day picture for our Christmas card. And again, I was a little tipsy. I ordered my Christmas cards drunk. So I'm hoping when they get here, it looks okay.
Do they say like Happy 4th of July on them or something like that? Do you have it, a confirmation? Can you see what they look like?
Yeah, they look okay. They look okay. But this is a whole other side note. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
So we do this beautiful, it is a really nice group, family photo.
Yep.
For our Christmas cards. Let's say Happy Thanksgiving for our Christmas cards. And then during the picture, Lucy does this adorable picture and she's flipping off the camera, but she's beautiful. Like her makeup and the lighting is great. So in my drunk purchase, I ordered that picture on a coffee mug.
All this sounds like it adds up. The reason I asked you is I wanted to make myself feel better. I haven't bought a present for anyone yet, but I did buy 2 things for myself already.
Nice. What did you get?
Well, I mean, nothing exciting. I just couldn't pass up. There was a really good deal on batteries on Cyber Monday, so I got AA and AAA batteries, which is exciting. And then I got I don't know if you know. Do you know what a Google Chromecast is? It's so you can like send video from your TV or from your phone to your TV. Oh, no. So they were on super like crazy sale on Black Friday. So I got 2 of those. So yeah, I have no idea what to get anyone, but it's so easy to shop for yourself. And it's funny. I was reading this article, kind of getting off track here. I apologize, but the article was all about broaching the subject with your family about not giving gifts and making it more about getting together, which is tough during COVID, getting together. But, not the stress of the holidays, a lot of it comes from trying to figure out what to buy people.
Yeah.
But if you're the person that says, hey, by the way, why don't we stop giving gifts? It's like a tough thing to be that person, like how do you bring that up to the family?
Well, and, my husband and I haven't talked about that yet, but I have a feeling it'll be like, all right, $50, that's the limit, because we want to do, some stuff to the yard, and we want to redo our kitchen, and we need to figure out a car situation because we kind of need a new car, and, I don't know.
I actually want an electric toothbrush for Christmas. That's what I want. And my wife will not get that for me because she's all about a Christmas gift can't be something that you need.
I got to tell you, again, we are way off track.
Yeah.
But electric toothbrushes are amazing. Back in radio, I did an endorsement for an electric toothbrush, and so they gave me one.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird at first because it made your mouth all kind of tickly.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Is it a Sonicare?
It is amazing. It is a Sonicare.
See, that's what I have, but I feel like mine is worn out. I've had it for quite a few years. I mean, obviously, I replace the end part all the time, but
right.
I think the motor is just used. I mean, I don't know how many years I've had it, but That's really, if Santa were to bring me that, I would be happy. And I don't know. I don't want to buy a lot of gifts. I don't want to get a lot of gifts. If I got no gifts, I'd be happy. But that's just not realistic when you have a 14-year-old daughter,
Well, I think these Sonicare toothbrushes are on sale at Costco right now.
I know somebody that works at Costco.
Wow,
what can we do?
Speaking of Costco,
Yeah.
one of the coveted jobs during the holidays is to sell the Christmas trees.
Yes.
Because it's easy and it's very social and fun, and everybody who's buying a Christmas tree is happy, right?
Do you wear a Santa hat when you do that?
I got to do trees twice, and I did not bring my Santa hat, and I was so bummed. Well, the first time it was pretty warm. I don't think I would have worn one.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you this story. This woman, the Christmas trees at Costco, there's one that's on display.
Yeah.
And they come from Oregon, and all the rest of them are wrapped up. They're all tied up with twine. And we do not open them up. You kind of get what you get. And they're noble furs, which are really pretty expensive elsewhere, and they're $60, so it's affordable. And this woman, she goes, okay, I want a nice fat tree. And I'm like, okay. So I give her this tree. I'm like, I think this is going to be a really nice one. It looks pretty even. And she goes, okay. She brings it back. She buys it, opens it up, and she brings it back. And I'm looking at it. It is a beautifully shaped tree. It is it is something out of a freaking movie. It's beautiful. And I asked her, I'm like, okay, so why did you bring it back? And she goes, well, it's dry. And I kind of feel the little thingies.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's not dry. She goes, well, when I opened it up, all these needles fell off. And I was like, well, it was in a truck for a week.
Right.
There are going to be some dead needles, but it's not a dry tree.
Yeah.
And she goes, and it's dirty. And I'm like, it's a tree.
It grows in the dirt. That's how it works. Oh my gosh. So do you think it was truly that it was dry, or she had a change of heart and goes, all right, we're going to get an artificial tree and we need to get our money back?
I think I don't know if she's never had a live tree before, but I think the fact that when she opened it up, the needles were kind of, over everywhere. And maybe I didn't explain to her. I don't feel like it's my job, I guess, but you set it up outside, let it sit in some water, a big bucket of water for a couple days, let it settle.
Right.
And then you bring it in the house and you decorate and all that kind of stuff. But I understand her thinking maybe it was dry, although it wasn't. But the whole it's dirty, it was so hard for me not to bust out laughing.
But because I haven't spent a lot of time returning stuff to Costco, isn't it like you can return anything, no questions asked? Did you just ask because you were curious?
Yeah, I was, yeah. Because, they do ask, why are you returning it?
Okay.
And they'll take almost any answer.
Yeah.
Well,
they probably got to know if there's something wrong with it so they can't put it back on the shelf, right?
Right. Well, and then I said, hey, can I buy this tree at a discounted rate? Because it was that beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you open up that Pandora's box, then people are going to be like, hey, Chad, you're my friend. Can you come and buy something and return it so that I can get a deal on? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just a slippery slope. So I can see why that policy exists.
And that's a firing offense right there.
Yeah. We don't want to talk. That would never happen. I'm just throwing out that scenario.
Right, exactly.
If your boss, Kirk. Is it Kirk, your boss?
Yeah. One of my bosses is Kirk. What did you say about Kirk?
Well,
let me just say, Kirk, I found out listens to our podcast.
Yes, thank you, Kirk, for listening to our podcast. And I want to know where your land is. Isn't that Kirkland? I mean, he's got to be up. No?
Oh.
Isn't that?
That was bad.
No, I think he is holding on to some secret land where they make all their products. And I want to visit.
He is the owner of all Costco.
Yeah, he's like undercover boss. You got to really get to know him.
Oh my gosh, right? All right, so I got to, I don't know. Are Santas in the mall anymore this year?
As far as I know, they're virtual. I saw that, what's it called? Bass Pro Shops, I think, is doing one that's like in a, and kind of like the Pope in a fiberglass thing. I didn't really read all the details, but I feel like I read something like that. They're doing something where you're not, like, you can't infect Santa or vice versa.
Well, and then I thought I saw like they were making these little snow globes, and Santa was like inside the snow globe. Yeah. And then kids could talk to him.
Make sure you put an air hole in there. You don't want Santa keeling over.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, and also a side note, I heard that Santa is an essential worker. So he is allowed to travel
Okay.
on Christmas Eve.
That's good news.
I bring up Santa. Did Georgia, your daughter, ever ask Santa for something weird? Because I found this list of weird things that kids have asked Santa for. And to me, the list wasn't that bad. It was like a pony, a new brother or sister, and then Christmas to happen every day. Those were like the quote weird things. But did George ask anything weird?
Yes, actually, there's a kind of weird and a really weird. And this is both when she was little. So if she's listening to this or her friends are listening, we're not trying to make fun of you. She wanted to get an Outback Steakhouse gift card. She asked Santa for that because, I mean, there was, when she was little, I'm not kidding you, we went to Outback like 3 or 4 times a week. So, and she loved their mac and cheese. And I think that's what she had in mind when she talked to Santa. Like, if I get a gift card, I can go anytime I want and get my mac and cheese.
Oh my God, that's funny.
But the cutest thing that I remember her asking Santa for, and I'm trying to remember the scenario. I think we asked Santa afterwards what she asked for, because you can't really hear it when you're taking photos and, they're on their lap. But she asked Santa for daddy hitters. And I mean, she's a little kid. It's like, did you just say daddy hitters? and what it was is she wanted boxing gloves to fight with me. But she didn't know what they were called, so she's asking for daddy hitters. And then Santa's like, do I need to call the police on that? Like, daddy hitters, what's he doing? But yeah, we ended up, she was, maybe 5, and we ended up getting, Santa got us some gloves so we could do boxing in the living room. So,
oh my gosh, that's funny.
She got her daddy hitters.
Lucy asked for a rug for her bedroom one year.
Oh, really?
And I remember I could hear it. And I remember Santa looking at me like, well, does she really want a rug?
Right.
I'm like, whatever. And yeah, Santa brought her a rug for her bedroom for Christmas.
That's what she wants. That's what she wants.
And in your household, if that was something mom and dad were going to buy, according to your wife, that could not have been a Christmas present because it's something useful.
Yeah, that's the tough. And I think that's something that she was passed on from her mom, where Christmas was for things that you wouldn't typically get, which is a good rule, except for there are things that you need, and maybe that's a good time to get it. I don't know. I don't know the right answer on that one.
This year, Lucy wants an air fryer.
Oh my gosh, we got one. Did I tell you that?
No!
So I know there's a lot of hype, and our old producer JP would always brag about his air fryer and how much he loved the air fryer. And he was the first one that I really heard consistently love it. Since that time, I've heard a lot of people talk about their air fryer. So we got this one. It's a Ninja, and it's got 2 little compartments. So if you have one thing that's supposed to take 20 minutes and one thing that takes 12, they're both done at the same time, if that makes sense.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I got to be honest. I have not been impressed with it.
Really?
I don't. My wife, she was more behind the purchase, so I think she's a little more lenient. But everything that I've had in there, it hasn't been like super crispy. I expected more, and maybe I'm expecting it to taste like something that comes out of Greece, which is not going to happen.
Right.
Obviously, it's healthier and it's very easy. So for Lucy, who is just getting out of college, who is starting her first job, it's probably perfect for her. I'm guessing she's not really into cooking and spending a lot of time in the kitchen.
No, there's a lot of eating out.
Yeah. I've heard corn dogs, and I have not tried it, but I've heard corn dogs are amazing in the air fryer. So we got to try that.
Okay. So didn't you guys go to the movies? Is that what I heard?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, that was kind of the purpose for, I guess I wanted to talk about it because most people haven't done this. We decided to go to the movies. We were kind of bored and we hadn't gone, and we used to go once or twice a week. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Harkins, which is, one of the big chains here in the Phoenix area. And we went in and we bought our tickets. And this actually started before coronavirus, where you pick your seats, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So with social distancing now, what they do is you pick your seat, but you also have a ton of seats to the side of you, both sides of you. and the row in front of you has nobody in it. So you literally are 6 feet away from every person. And then, so you wear your mask until you get in your seat, and then you're supposed to wear it when you're not eating or drinking. But, once we were in our seat, we took our mask off, and that was that.
Right.
So I got to say, it was actually a really comfortable, normal experience, except for the, going in with your mask on and just things that you have to do these days. But I wanted to tell you the movie we saw. So we knew we wanted to go to the movie, but we didn't know what we wanted to see. And a lot of the movies right now, because Hollywood is kind of shut down, you can go see Toy Story. I'm like, if I'm going to watch Toy Story, I can do that at home, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there was this new movie that came out called The Buddy Games. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Again, these are all like this. They're like dusted off. It's in the back of the shelf in Hollywood. They're like, all right, let's put this out because nobody's going to the movies. It had big names in it, and it was actually pretty good. So let me tell you. Do you remember the name Josh Duhamel? He was married.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah,
Woo!
So he's in it. Olivia Munn is in it. Dax Shepard.
Oh, I like him.
Did you watch Entourage?
I did not.
Okay, Johnny Drama on there. His name's Kevin Dillon. It's Matt Dillon's brother, I think. He
Okay.
was in the movie. And then Nick Swartzen. He's a funny comedian. But it was all about these guys that recreate these games that they played when they were a kid. And they go out by a lake and they do... I mean, there's a lot of crude humor because it's a kind of a buddy comedy. But
Right.
It was fun. Like at the end, I didn't twist Steph's arm. I'm like, did you like it? She goes, I thought it was really funny. So... I don't know. If you're looking for something to do that is semi-safe, I mean, what is safe anymore? I would recommend going to the movies.
Actually, I have not thought about going to a movie because I kind of forgot that they're open.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go now, and I want to get some of that movie theater popcorn.
So it's funny you say that. I got the popcorn perks thing on my account. If you're from the area, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so you get 50 bags of popcorn in a year. And my last bag of popcorn was in February. I did not get my money's worth because I have not been to the theater, but it was very good to have movie theater popcorn again.
Oh, I'm so excited. So did you hear about this couple, this family in Boulder, Colorado? They usually have Thanksgiving at their house.
Okay.
And they have, family and friends. There's like a ton of people. It's like their thing. That's their holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could not do it because of this stupid pandemic. And so this is what they did. And they put a lot of time and energy and money into this. The husband, his name is Dennis. He spent weeks building a drive-through window from scratch. And then the wife cooked Thanksgiving dinner, put portions to-go bags in bags, and put all the family and friends' names on it. And then the family and friends drove through and they handed their bags through the drive-through window. Full Thanksgiving dinner.
It's a safe alternative. I applaud the creativity. Is it even close to the same? No. Did you see what?
But it would be one to remember. Remember that drive-through Thanksgiving we did back in 2020?
I'll never forget. This is was my first radio job. I was working in my hometown and on Christmas Day playing Christmas music, and my grandma came to the back door of the radio station with a plate with plastic over it. She brought me my Christmas dinner. I'll never forget that. And I go back to the studio and eat alone.
That is so sweet.
It was actually, I just got a message. My, I don't know what he is to me, my mom's cousin. So whatever that is, he's a Facebook friend, and he found a newspaper clipping of my grandma, and it was a photo of her 30 years at her job. And they put her in the newspaper because she got this clock that they gave her. That was what you get for 30 years of service at the grocery store. Because she was like the manager, not manager, but she worked in the front customer service. She was like customer service. Yeah. So anyway, she did that for 30 years, and they gave her a clock. And she was in the newspaper. But my mom's cousin was going through newspaper clippings, and he found that. I thought it was pretty cool to run across that. But drive-through Thanksgiving, I'll have to remember that. Hopefully next year we won't have to consider that as a possibility, but who knows at this point. Here's something for you that I came across: the home of the future. And I know part of what you were saying, what you guys wanted for Christmas, you wanted to do things around your house. But
Right.
these are, it's kind of a survey and asking people what they would like in America's home of the future. People say windows that tint automatically in the sun.
Ooh.
That would be huge. That would be $1 zillion idea in the desert.
Wow, that's a good idea.
How about this? Because I have been so cold with these colder nights. A heating system that recognizes body temperature.
Huh.
So if your house cools off or your body's cold, it automatically adjusts so that you're at whatever temperature you're comfortable at.
That's interesting. Okay.
And this one I thought was pretty cool. Lighting that responds to the time of the day. And I feel like that might already exist.
Yeah, that one I kind of like because, well, it would depend because like our kitchen is actually really dark.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it would be bright all the time.
You have to kind of set it to whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many other people would like their own fingerprint scanning door locks.
That they have.
Did they have that already?
I think they have that. Yes.
And also the fingerprints would operate your blinds, curtains, which open and close based on the time of the day, and your heating system.
The problem with that, though, what if you have a house sitter? Then they can never operate the blinds.
Yeah. And I just, the fingerprint thing, and maybe this is just me being a little weird and scared. Like I don't know where that data goes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like fingerprint scanner. I don't know why I'm protecting my fingerprint. It's really not that valuable at this point. But, you know, it's like, I don't know. It just makes me a little weird. But I like the automatic temperature thing. Not that it's that hard to adjust your thing, but if it's just, you know, hey, I like it at 70, you know, and it's going to be that no matter what, it's going to adjust the blinds. Probably all works together. It's kind of a, what do they call it? A smart home. Yeah, that's it. A smart home. One of those things.
You know, one of the things my husband and I were actually just talking about this morning, you know, we sit and we have coffee and like I said earlier, we discuss, okay, we're going to do this to the backyard. I sent you pictures of how our kitchen could look, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who have not been to my house, but you can see my bedroom here in the back, I have orange walls. My house is full of color.
Yes.
Very few walls are white.
Mm-hmm.
My husband says this morning, I think we need to paint the house white,
Uh-huh.
like the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, what, the whole house? You know, like everything? He goes, well, we can leave the kitchen blue. Our kitchen's kind of a teal, aqua blue. He goes, but I want the rest of the house white. And it kind of threw me for a loop. I mean, can you imagine coming into my house and it being white? You'd be like, whose house am I in?
You know, we had a lot of color in our last house, and this house is all white. We haven't changed any of the colors. And it's funny you mentioned that you wanted to go white because my wife, about a month or two ago, said, I like it white. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Part of that is because I'm lazy, because I don't want to have to, you know, I'm like, it's good. Yeah. We're going to stick with the white. It works. But I mean, we have pictures up on the wall and stuff, so it gives it a little color, I guess.
Well, I think that's it. He wants to have the color be, you know, pillows or a piece of furniture or the artwork, that kind of stuff. And so I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm kind of leaning toward the white as long as I get to keep my kitchen kind of funky in my blue.
Okay. All right. Well, keep us updated on that. I do have a news report out of the UK to share with you, Maria.
Okay.
This is a guy in the UK. He got 6 months in jail for calling the cops over and over again. But what he did when he called them is what got him 6 months in jail. Let me play you a little audio. Play. Are you kidding me? It's not going to play. Play.
Yes, it will. Try it again.
And let me try this.
Cash police emergency. Yes, hi. I mean, obviously I know what you're doing, but you did this. You were doing this the other day.
So, let me explain. He calls and he burps at them. So he does this enough where they put him in jail for 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. He gets out of jail. He does the same thing. And he gets another 6 months. I'm thinking maybe more than 6 months to teach us. Like, you're in jail for 6 months. You know why you're there. You get out, and one of the first things you do is go and do the exact same thing again.
Okay, maybe he's like homeless and in jail. He's got 3 meals a day.
Yeah, I mean, you see that a lot on TVs and TVs and movies when, you know, the prisoners get comfortable and they get taken care of. Maybe that is the case. I don't know.
Or maybe he's just a little wackadoodle.
Now, let me play it for you again, and I have one more question for you about this audio, okay? All right, here we go.
Police emergency. Yes, hi. I mean, obviously I know what you're doing, but...
All right. Can you smell that?
Well, now that you say it.
The first time I listened, I'm like, oh, I can almost smell a nasty burp when I listen to that.
You know, now that you say it, oh my gosh. Play one more time. Can you play one more time?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, right? It's like psychosomatic. Like you can almost like, ugh, it just sounds so nasty.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's gross.
Yeah. So that is our news report for the day.
The final question.
Let's do the final question. Maria, this question is for you. This is a question for anybody that's watching or listening to the podcast today. If you could join the cast of any TV show, past or present, which show would you choose and why?
Okay, in true Maria fashion, I have 2.
Okay, go ahead. I wouldn't expect anything less.
The first one is Criminal Minds.
Okay.
Because I love all those murder mysteries and I would like to be part of the solving, you know, that thought process. And I would hire your wife because she and I have the same interests. So I would like us to work together.
Well, she's always off murdering people and getting away with it because she's watched every Dateline. She'd be a good partner on that show.
Okay, and my other one is a game show.
Yeah.
Hollywood Squares.
Oh, I saw you posted that on our Maria and Chad Facebook page.
Like, you could not have Hollywood Squares today with those kind of answers. It's so politically not correct.
Right.
And I would love to be, you know, next to Paul Lynn in the Hollywood Squares just so I could laugh at him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, I would want to be in the square, not the contestant.
Sure you don't want to throw in a third show here, Maria?
Survivor.
There you go. All right, put you on the spot. I'm going to do one because that's how the question works, Maria.
Sorry.
The cast of any TV show, past or present. I think this says a lot about maybe my childhood, but the first thing that I thought of, and that's what I'm going to go with, is the TV show Happy Days.
Oh!
And it's an old show. If you're young and you're not familiar with it, look it up. But I just remember enjoying watching. I mean, the Fonzie thing is kind of ridiculous. Some of the stuff that he did, and he's turning the jukebox on and off with his fist, and is the bathroom is his office and all that stuff.
Right.
But I just think the camaraderie of those friends, Richie and his buddies, and like hanging out at the diner and playing around with Mel. Was it Mel or Al? It was Mel.
Well, Al's Diner.
Al.
And it was Mel was on Mel's Diner was a whole nother show.
I thought maybe that Mel changed.
Alice. Wasn't Alice? Mel was on Alice.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. But
I can't remember.
For whatever,
Arnold.
That's the show. I think that time, it's because it's an unknown, it's the 50s, right? Or 60s?
Yeah, it was the 50s.
And it just seems like it was a fun place to be. So I would love to join the cast of that TV show, except for the time when Fonzie jumped the shark. I don't want to be there for that. Too scary. Do you remember my favorite episode was I think it was the Camachi brothers. They were doing a demolition derby. Do you remember that episode?
I don't know.
It was forever ago. I was little. All right. So our phone number, 424-235-3657. I'm going to ask the question one more time. If you want to call and answer and tell us what TV show you'd like to join the cast of, past or present, and make sure you tell us why. Again, 424-235-3657. Where are we at on social media, Maria?
We are on Instagram at Maria and Chad. We have Facebook as well, Maria and Chad. And of course, YouTube, Doing Life with Maria and Chad.
Yep, YouTube, you can subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got radio.com app. You can find us on there. iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Amazon Music app, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, Podbean, and as you mentioned, YouTube. So again, our phone number, if you want to call us and answer the final question, or if you have any comments or anything to say whatsoever, want to tell us a story, 424-235-3657, and we'll get to your messages on our next episode. Thanks for listening.
Mwah.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram at Maria and Chad and Facebook. You can now listen for free in all these places. The radio.com app, on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, the Amazon Music app, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, Podbean, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.